where he did it all for the 49ers during a deep playoff run. Deebo Samuel is requesting a trade out of San Francisco. The versatile wide receiver made some waves after liking a Photoshop on Twitter featuring himself in a Cowboys uniform. Shannon, what do you think? Can you see Jerry Jones trading for Deebo?
No, hell no, absolutely not. Hell, he just got off a $20 million receiver that he didn't want to play. Skip, they say they build their team through the draft. So in other words, you want Jerry to give up draft capital and pay a wide receiver $30 million. Because Deebo Samuel says, I want to be one of these top-paid receivers. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, guys of that nature, DeAndre Hopkins. Skip, no. You know good well. So let me get this straight. When Jerry had an opportunity to spend in free agency that would not cost him any draft capital, he's like, nah, I'm good. Now we're a week away from the draft. You say, Jerry, trade draft capital. The 49ers are going to probably make it cost prohibitive. They're going to say, we want a first. We're going to want a Tyreek Hill package. Or at bare minimum, we want a Devontae Adams package. So Jerry's going to get up a first and a second and pay this man over $100 million with probably 70 to 80 of it guaranteed after he just gave Dak 140 last year and wrote him a check at the time of signing for 75, 80 million. No. And I get it. Deebo wants out. Deebo going to like any pitcher that somebody he thinks is going to pay him some money. Now, I'm going to be cautious. I'll be very cautious with Deebo. What makes Deebo unique is the very thing that probably is upsetting Deebo, is that they used him a lot like a running back. Skip, if you remember the game against your Cowboys, it wasn't his catches, it was his running that broke your back. And so he's like, man, I'm taking a lot of hits for not a lot of money. And so I'm going to be very cautious. How am I going to use Deebo? Am I going to just use him exclusively as a receiver? Because the thing that makes him unique is his ability to take the ball from the backfield. You can hand it to him, you can toss it to him, you can pitch it to him, and he can run the ball like a running back. And when he gets the ball in his hands as a receiver, he's a running back. So, but Skip, I don't see Jerry Jones trading for this man and giving him $30 million. Absolutely not.
Here's what I think of Deebo Samuel. I believe he is a difference maker. I believe he is a life changer. I believe he strikes fear in the hearts of defenders and especially defensive coordinators because he is difficult to contain. If you get him the ball in the right spots, as Kyle Shanahan brilliantly did last season, he is devastating. He runs with T.O.'s rage that T.O. used to run with, except he runs stronger than T.O. He just seems bigger and more physical than even T.O. And T.O. was big and physical, but he wasn't this guy. This guy scares you. This guy is hard to tackle because you're afraid he's going to punish you before you punish him.
He's built more like a running back than a receiver.
He is that. Yet he can catch it.
Absolutely.
Catch it great. So just a few numbers to throw at you. Deebo led the league last year at 18.2 yards per catch. Just let that sink in. That led the league. All those other great receivers, Tyreek and Devontae, they were out there, but he led the league. Last year, his 2,061 yards from scrimmage, total yards from scrimmage, that include the playoffs, were the most ever by a 49ers pass catcher in one season, okay? Most ever by a pass catcher in one season. Remember that guy that you say is the greatest player ever?
Jerry.
Okay, so Jerry Rice never had more yards from scrimmage, combined yards, than Deebo had last year. That's just extraordinary. And then 72 yards rushing against my Dallas Cowboys in that playoff game when they got blown off the field early on. But he ran right through their hearts. Those 72 yards were a playoff record for a wideout in the Super Bowl era in a playoff game. Okay. Well, that's pretty great.
But Skip,
I got one last one for you.
Go ahead.
8 rushing TDs last year in the regular season were the most ever by a wide receiver. Most ever. Well, he's slash. I don't know what he is.
But Skip, in order for him to give you that value, he doesn't want to be used like that. Skip, I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody on either side. But it looks to me, he doesn't want to be used like that. So the value...
I'm not sure that's the problem. I'm not sure what the problem is, but I'm not sure that's the problem.
Skip, for a running back to be taking those kind of licks, to hand it out. Look, you understand, you catch 100 balls, you get 100+ targets, you're going to take some shots. So imagine getting 100 balls thrown at you, and they turn around and they hand you the ball 85, not 100 times.
Okay, so my only concern is, last stat, Last year, among wide receivers, Deebo averaged the most hits per game.
Yeah, of course.
8 hits per game.
Yeah.
Well, duh. You know, like he plays running back, and they'll screen it to him, and they'll flip it to him.
Right.
They're just trying to get him in some space where you get him a head start. Right?
So, Skip, you can see why he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Running backs don't play long. Y'all using me as a running back. I ain't going to play long. I want to be a wide receiver. I just want to catch passes. I want to play slot, maybe outside the numbers, catch me a bunch of passes. I don't want to be in the backfield lining up.
Okay. So if you are right that the league in general is going to be hesitant to plunge on him, if Jerry could get the 49ers to take this 24th overall pick, it's 24th in the first round, if they would take that straight up, no strings attached, for Deebo, I would do it. Now, you got to pay him, but the cap is going to go up. And
you ain't paying that, man. You just got off Amari. But hold on.
Okay, did he not trade a first-round pick for Amari at midseason? He did.
But you had nothing. Hold on. Wait a minute. You got C.D. Lamb. You just gave Mike Gallup money because you said he's that guy. Why the hell y'all need Deebo?
Well, I never said Michael Gallup was that guy.
So is C.D. Lamb the guy or not?
Well, he is, but I'd like two of those guys. And I don't have a running back I can trust, right? So if I can use him some.
You got Pollard.
Well, he's a scat back. He's a speed back.
But you want to use it, let Jerry give him the ball like 15, 20 times a game.
Well, he's all I got. He's better than the other guy, the highest paid running back in football, who's a shell of himself.
Skip.
Right?
Yes.
Better running back right now. What does your eye test tell you? Deebo or Zeke?
Man, Skip,
help me out.
Skip,
Deebo or Zeke?
First of all, Skip, you're not going to give Deebo the ball 20 times a game like occasionally Zeke would handle it.
What if you give him 10 carries a game?
Skip, he doesn't want to be used like that.
Why not?
Now, he might be willing to be used like that for $30 million a year, but Skip, them hits shorten. There's a reason why teams are hesitant to give running back second contracts. It's going to get more and more because what we saw happen, we saw Zeke get a second contract. We saw Christian McCaffrey get a contract. How's those contracts been working out, Skip? Okay. So the teams are going to be more and more reluctant to give a quarterback. You see Saquon, they just picked up the 50 option. They like, we're not doing that. So Deebo's like, hold on, bro, y'all shortening my career.
Okay, so this draft is loaded with
wide receiver.
Quality receivers.
Yes.
Quality receivers.
Yes.
And at 24, you definitely will have somebody there.
And you can get you one.
Will he be better than Deebo? No, he won't be.
Right.
You know and I know. No receiver in this draft will be better than Deebo.
But
I'm talking on overall impact. I just gave you the numbers. Nobody will put up those kind of numbers.
You about to trade draft capital and cut Deebo a check for 100 plus. Because you saw what Tyreek got. You saw what Devontae got. You saw what D-Hop got. So that's what you're going to do? You're going to cut him a check somewhere around 140, 150 mil?
It's the cost of winning a Super Bowl.
Jerry don't care about that.
You need transcendent. You need life-changing.
Jerry don't care about that.
Yep.
Jerry don't care about that.
Well, he probably doesn't because they're sitting back saying, we'll back him to the East next year anyway.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah. And he's sitting
Philly, we're not threatened. Washington, we're not threatened.
And he's sitting on a pile of money bigger than this building. Mm-hmm. So
and yet,
what?
Jerry Jones has been quoted often as saying, "You wouldn't believe the size of the check I would write to win another Super Bowl."
What he said versus what he's done, they don't coincide.
They don't. Now they're all stuck on, we're the proud Dallas Cowboys. We build it through the draft. We build it the right way. And we don't pay these kids very much. And when they come due, we move on to the next kid, right?
Yeah.
That's how they do business.
Darren Armstrong, he's had the same production as Randy Gregory. Well, then why you only gave Armstrong $4 million and you wanted to give Randy Gregory $14 million if they give you the same production? Shouldn't you have paid him the same price if that's what you thought?
We love Wolf Hunter because we grew him up ourselves, and he goes out and slays wolves with his bare hands. Bobby Wagner slays football players with his bare hands, right?
Exactly. Skip, they didn't even pick up the man 50 option. They got him back for like $1 million, $2 million.
He had to crawl back to the Dallas Cowboys. Really?
Man, Steven's just like his dad. He should have been named Jerry Jr. Jerry should have waited, Skip. Gerald should have waited because he regurgitated everything. He a salesman just like his dad. Mm-hmm. He a salesman just like his dad.
I just need one splash. I need one reason to hope. The locker room needs one just big voltage of, one big shock of energy where it just ripples through the locker room and everybody says, my God, he's serious about this.
What about Mike McCarthy being involved in the draft? Is that a splash?
Yeah, he's scouting.
That's what I'm saying. That's a splash, right?
They didn't want him to coach, so they're using him as a scout.
Okay, how about this? He gonna be more involved in the offensive game plan.
Says who?
That's what he said. That's what Jerry and Steven said.
They're trying to find something for him to do with himself instead of give inspirational speeches before games, right?
That you heard. You heard it's gonna get worse. But you know what? You just happen to be in a crappy division. You'll be able to come out here and gloat and talk about your Cowboys and how good they look until it actually matters. And then you gonna come out here and talk about get him out of my sight.
Yep.
I am done with drop the mic, Mike McCarthy.
Please drop the mic, because we'll have a home playoff game after we win the East, and we'll probably play Deebo again, and he'll run us off the field.
Yeah.
That's probably what will happen.
But I mean,
way to go.